stylist, a celebrity stylist. She has done wonderful works. You must have seen her clothes on your best and most famous celebrities, people like Rita Dominic, Dakore, and the rest of them. Just think it. Anybody that's not wearing her clothes right now is not a celebrity. I'm sorry, but that's just how I feel about it. So we are privileged to be in our office where she does all the magic. I thought we should take it to our office because, what better place than where the witch performs her magic. So, but before I continue, I would like to introduce my co-colleague, Ms. Doris. Please say hi.
My name is Doris Camilo Melkache, and as we're talking about, she is one hell of a legend. Intelligent, beautiful, and powerful, making serious waves across the fashion industry in Nigeria and Africa. And who exactly are we talking about? The Amazon that wields a sword of excellence across the fashion world.
Her name is Miss Ejiro Amos Tafiri, EAT. Just have to eat.
Thank you for having me.
It's good to have you, seriously.
Thank you.
It's been an honor. Just going to be a relaxed section, okay? I want all the laughing and enjoying, no tension. Most importantly, I want our viewers at home to be able to relate to what we are doing here, like it's one family.
Okay.
So basically, let's start from the basics. Can you tell us about yourself? What inspires you? What inspires every fabric you put together, the strings, everything. Who is Ejiro Amos Tafiri?
Ejiro Amos Tafiri, the person, because there are two Ejiro Amos Tafiris. There is myself and then there is the brand. So Ejiro Amos Tafiri, the person, I'm just a simple African girl living my dreams and taking the world each day as it comes. But I grew up with paramilitary parents and I have 4 brothers. So growing up was very strict, and I had all my fun times was when I would sit and imagine things and then just escape either through reading books, watching movies, and just going to a different world. And I always wanted to create stuff, not necessarily clothes, it could be paper dolls or whatever. I just always did stuff with my hand, and I had enjoyed that. That was like my pastime, was my fun thing to do. But while in school, I was a very academic, serious student, and that was my own fun time. And so growing up, I discovered fashion in secondary school, and I haven't looked back ever since, even though it was difficult for me to tell anyone in school and then convince my parents that that's what I wanted to do for a career.
I can imagine.
And so what drives me today, what started driving me was the need to succeed against all odds, because no one believed in what I chose to do. Everyone expected me to become a doctor, engineer, or something, because I was a very good science student.
As smart as, I get it.
Because I was a very good science student. So everyone had high hopes. Like, even in my extended family, they always called me a doctor from when we were little. At Christmas parties, how was your Ejiro passed very well, and then I got scholarships and things. So everyone just had such high hopes of me becoming a medical doctor, an engineer, or something, very nice, formal occupation. And then when I came and I wanted to do fashion, my parents were heartbroken, they were upset, they grounded me. It was tough winning them over. So I wanted to succeed so bad to prove to them that I didn't make a wrong choice, that I was certain that I was called to do this, and I wanted to make them proud. I wanted to make my secondary school teachers proud as well, because everyone that knew me growing up just thought I made a very wrong choice. And so the need to succeed and then just prove everybody wrong was what drove me. But now what drives me is the need to see people happy, to make my customers comfortable, to deliver on the promise that we would always provide clothing solutions and make women happy and meet their clothing needs. So that's what drives me. And then also knowing that I'm responsible for a lot of people, my staff, and I also want to impact lives. And I know that the salaries they take home from the business helps their families, and some of them helps them to carry on with their dreams. And also I want to provide jobs for a lot of people. So it's just layers and layers and layers, and when we pass one, it continues.
So with this passion, like what you said, you have this passion from when you were a child, and it's made to be who you are today. I know that you have certain challenges. What are the challenges you face every day in the fashion industry due to we have high competition and all that in the Nigerian industry? So how do you face that every day in the industry?
Well, I'm a Nigerian, and Nigerians are very resilient people. So I'm one that I don't sit to brood over my issues or my challenges or my problems. I see work as, I tell my staff that work is going out there to solve problems. So I expect the problems, I expect the challenges, and I think that's what has made it easy for me to rise above a lot of the challenges I've had. I've never been one to sit and complain, oh, I don't have money and I can work with my hands. Like, I don't have a car, I can take a car, I can walk, I have 2 legs. So nothing ever gets too hard that I can't deal with. I just trust God and then find a way around it. But of course there are challenges for like every budding entrepreneur, getting finance to improve your business or to expand, and dealing with my biggest issue is actually dealing with people, human resources. That's the biggest issue. Because a lot of the young people that get interviewed or want to work are unemployable. What do I mean by that? Yes, they're graduates, but they don't have the right mindset. They just assume that because they've gone to school, that qualifies them to earn a living, and they're not ready to work for the living. So they come to the workplace and are not ready to put in their best or be a part of something positive and actually grow the organization. So I struggle with mentoring, teaching, and renewing their minds, and that's my biggest challenge. Because imagine I'm a creative entrepreneur, I have to deal with making money, I have to deal with creating designs, I have to deal with changing the way people think. So that's my biggest challenge. And then, of course, like I said, getting finance to expand your business and normal issues that everyone goes through. You have to provide your own power generation. But the biggest issue I do have is people and then skill sets of people that will work with you.
Yeah, but now the other thing I want to talk about is when you were starting off.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you know how it is like for when you have a dream and you want that dream to go big, you have a lot of things to go through. Okay. So how were you able to go and find a way to pass over those challenges you had? How were you able to succeed when you were coming up? What are the things you went through? We know that before you can succeed, you have setbacks, you can have disappointments. So how were you able to psychologically handle those things? Because we have many talented Nigerians who have this dream, but when it gets halfway, they just drop out, maybe because of due to
there was no option. Like I had no option. Like the option of failure was not there. So it was just like, is that way or no other way? So what was I supposed to do? I don't want to be poor.
That's a good motivation.
Exactly.
I don't want to be poor. And then the reason why I chose fashion over science was I wanted to leave my imprint in the sands of time. So I wanted to make a mark in my time. I wanted people to remember me for something. I wanted my time on earth to count. So, and I already knew I was coming from a disadvantaged position. My parents are not rich. I mean, at the time I grew up in Koton, eventually moved back to Koton after all the luxury I grew up with and had experience growing up. Ended up going back to Koton, and that's like, you call it, I don't know, it's not Islam, but it's a hinterland, like it's not ghetto. I don't think it's Islam. It's just
behind.
Yeah,
trend.
it's just hinterlands of Lagos.
Yeah.
Not Lagos, no modern day Lagos. Just step back in time a bit when you go there. And then coming from that background, choosing to do fashion when I saw my mates that did medicine, law, how they were living. Like, so there was no option. I had to get to that. I had to be able to do the things my classmates were doing as doctors, lawyers, bankers. So I don't know. So I don't even remember the issues, but I did have a lot of challenges. My mom reminded me 2 days ago how my first office was my bedroom, my parents' house. I moved out my bed and every furniture. I had one machine and I put a table there, and I started sleeping in my brother's room. I'll sleep on the floor at the close of business every day. And most of the time I hardly even sleep at that time. I was always, at night I'll be online researching, seeing other people's websites, how would I want to present my brand. So that opened my mind, expanded, it helped me to dream and see further, and then know that, this stage will pass. If only I could layer the steps and then build and keep going. So quick, I was marketing. I was my first tailor, cutter, designer, everything. I was the only person for just a month. And next month I hired somebody to sew, and I started doing the marketing and everything, going to the market, selling the products. Then we grew from that situation, and at one point my dad got tired of me having people walking in and out of the house, so he told me to get out of the house, move my office out, and I had nowhere to go. And a good family friend of mine came to my aid. He gave me a few shops, Tony Adibosing, outside his mom's building. That shop, there was no bathroom, no toilet. My mom reminded me how we used to have a bucket inside the office, and we would close the door to ease ourselves and then get water to flush away the pee. And when I bought my first car, how I always had breakdowns. I brought scrap, not even a car. And I had to save for another 3 months to be able to buy the engine, change the steering. I bought the car at 150. I had to wait for a few months to get 250 to now make it into a car that could move. It was tough, but at every point I was grateful because I got to live my dream. Like, a lot of people get to work and they're not living their dreams. It's not what they really want. Nobody asked me to dream. Nobody sent me on that, say, go and be an entrepreneur, build a business. Nobody said, it was my dream. It was what I wanted. So only me could see where I was going. And so I was happy to even have the chance, to have the life, to have the ability, mental ability, physical ability to do the work. So everything, I literally forget every stress I go through, honestly, unless time and situation, maybe when I'm trying to inspire maybe my staff, and I just look back and I remember. So we grew to those 3 shops. At that time when we made wedding dresses, the dresses would come back red, like, because it was by the mud. When it's time to finish sewing to be red, we'll have to wash it and sit down outside. I'll make the staff sit there and watch, so no bird will come. And when you couldn't afford dry cleaning, I had to dry clean everything myself and sit down there. When I'm done, I'll not iron the dress overnight, iron out every crease and everything, and make the delivery. So it was tough, hard, nail-biting work, but it's worth every minute of it, and I don't regret it. I don't feel bad. I don't even feel like I was disadvantaged or I suffered. I don't feel anyhow about it. Every day was fantastic for me.
Wow.
It's amazing how people just see the end. They don't see the means. And then I want to be like that person, but can you really walk the shoes the person walked in?